guys, my name is Lilly and today I want to bring you the news from Europe, but especially today I have very sad news from Austria. So unfortunately yesterday we had a tea attack carried out by a Syrian migrant, apparently an Islamist, who was stabbing people in Villach, and unfortunately 6 people were stabbed and one 14-year-old boy, Austrian boy, has died because of this attack. And yeah, it's a really sad day for Austria. My heart is bleeding. It's so hard for me to talk about this. So this attack is a tea attack because it happened because of a Islamist background. So the attacker was an IS fanatic. Now even Elon Musk has shared the photo of the attacker on X. And here you can see a police officer trying to detain the attacker, and you can see that the attacker is smiling and sitting there and waiting for the arrest. So the thing is, the police actually did not stop the attacker. The attacker was stopped by another Syrian migrant. So this other Syrian migrant was witnessing the attack, and he was just sitting in his car because usually he would deliver food. And then he used the car and actually rammed the attacker. So the Syrian terrorist was actually stopped by a Syrian migrant. And the Syrian migrant is actually now the hero of the day because, yeah, he stopped the attack. And unfortunately, he said that he was not quick enough to save the boy's life. So that's what he's regretting, that he could not act faster. So yeah, very sad day in Austria, and I gotta say, there's only 2 ways to stop this. Either the politicians finally do something about it, or we have to throw out the politicians and vote for politicians who are capable of handling this. Otherwise, people will be terrified to go on the streets. And I'm not only concerned about Austrians, I'm also concerned about tourists from abroad who cannot even walk the streets here anymore without having to be afraid of being stabbed in the back. But I'm also worried about the good migrants, who we have a lot here in Austria and who we really appreciate. Not even they are safe anymore. So this is a huge problem, and yeah, a lot of people, they are anxious to leave their houses to go on the streets because you never know what's happening, you know? I mean, it's really bad. The situation is really bad, and 20 years ago it was not like this. 30 years ago, people could leave open their doors without locking them in the night. This was the situation on the countryside, and I know it because I'm from a 200 inhabitant village, okay? So yeah, really sad day. It's happening so often now in Europe, it's really sad. Then also I want to report about another topic. So in Germany there's a blackout expert who is called Outdoor Chiemgau. He has this German YouTube channel and he's always analyzing the situation about electricity, blackouts and natural gas and so on. And this time he has made a video today that we actually probably will not have enough of natural gas for this year, especially for next winter, because right now we are not getting a lot of natural gas anymore. So apparently the Ukraine has cut off the natural gas supply, which is coming from Russia. And also there was a LNG operator in Germany who just quit. And now this LNG terminal is not in operation anymore. So there are several reasons why we don't have enough of natural gas right now. And the natural gas capacity in the storage is sinking, so right now we only have 43%. But still, winter is here and it's still very cold. Also, we seem to be using more natural gas than last year. And we are using a whole lot of natural gas to make electricity from. So the problem is that Germany has closed down like 9 nuclear plants, but also they have closed down a whole lot of coal plants, and the coal plants were also used to make electricity. So every time it's dark and not windy and the solar panels are not working and the wind turbines are not working, they have to use natural gas to make electricity. So because of this situation, we are running low on natural gas, and this can be a problem this year, but also it could be a problem next year. Meanwhile, the natural gas price is on record level, shocking consumers, and some households have to pay even more than they are already paying. And that's because we have used a lot of natural gas, of course. It was quite cold this winter. So for example, here they're writing that the natural gas price has increased by 40% in just a few days, with 58 euros per megawatt hour. I don't know who should pay for this. I mean, most people don't have any savings anymore. Here's the second reason, which we already have discussed. The gas reserves are continually getting lower. Right now in Austria we have 57%, but last year the same time we had 80% of natural gas in our tanks. Then also in Poland they have the same problem. Natural gas is increasingly needed and expensive. There's less of it in European warehouses than a year ago. Also, I would like to report about the situation in Greece. So in Santorini, most of the inhabitants have left the island and the earthquakes have continued, but now they actually have shifted. So first, the earthquakes were only tectonic earthquakes where the plates are moving, but now the earthquakes have shifted into tremor. And tremor is apparently a kind of earthquake where actually the lava underneath this place is moving a lot, you know, because underneath there is an old volcano. The chances have risen that this volcano might even break out, and everything is possible right now. So it's really hard to say if there will be a breakout of this volcano or not. And besides that, they can also say that the seismic amplitude has risen quite tremendously. So this volcano might even break out and destroy the whole island. Let's hope that's not the case though. Yeah, then also you probably already have heard about that, but apparently a drone flew into the hull of Chernobyl, which is incredibly dangerous, of course. And those idiots who are doing this, they are really, I don't know what to say anymore. It's so stupid. How can you just let this happen, you know? So of course the Ukraine said it was the Russians said it was not them. So who was it? I don't know, but I mean, this should really not happen. So it seems as if the drone only destroyed a little bit of the hull, but of course the hull around the Chernobyl site is incredibly important, so we protect ourselves from radioactivity coming out of it. So yeah, incredibly dangerous and stupid, and I don't have any words for it anymore. People are so reckless. Then next, we have another fear-mongering article about the war, telling us that the danger of war is rising in Europe and so on. So yeah, I don't think that anymore, because I think that soon the war will end and come to an end using diplomacy. This is what they should have done a long time ago. Yeah, then also Mrs. von der Leyen wants to increase the tax money that goes into defense expenses of the European Union, as if we would have this money, but I think we don't, but okay. They can do what they want as politicians, right? Yeah, the problem is that we don't really have any money anymore, and they just will make more debts, and this it will basically, I mean, our economy is lying on the floor already, so it will be like kicking our economy on the floor. Now here there's another warmongering article. They are saying megatrend, how it's a great idea to invest into tanks and other military equipment, and that could be a chance for growth in Europe. Yeah. I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think we have any money left, and we should rather like invest money in the economy to have a stable economy rather than invest money in death and destruction. Then next, Trump declares trade war on the European Union because of the VAT. Now here in Europe we have the VAT. So everything which is sold in Europe has some kind of VAT on it, unless it has a VAT exemption. But most of the products, like this phone here, have 20% VAT in Austria, for example. And also, if I'm importing something from the US, let's say one time, like 10 years ago, I bought a canteen from David Canterbury. Yeah, I remember that. And then it came to Austria, And then I had to pay 20% value-added tax on the value of this canteen. So it was quite a lot of money back then. And a lot of people don't know this, but if you're importing something to Europe, you have to pay value-added tax. Now the thing about this value-added tax is, it's that it is a consumption tax which is paid by the consumer, but if you're importing products, it has the same effects as if you would have a tariff, right? So Trump doesn't like the VAT at all, and I have to say I agree with him, I don't like the VAT either. Yeah, meanwhile we are having problems with our own debts. So Austria is making a lot of debts because of the past, because of the lockdowns. So this is now becoming a real problem. The problem is actually right now we don't really have a new government because they could not form one. So we had elections in, I believe, September last year, and we voted for a new government, but right now we don't have one because they could not make a coalition. First, they tried to make a coalition between the conservatives and the leftists, but that failed. And then they also failed to make a coalition between conservatives and the right-wing party in Austria. That also has failed. So now we don't really have a new government, and I don't know what they will do. I don't know if we will have new elections. So I don't really know what they will do here in our country, which is more looking like a banana republic every day. Yeah, then we have another insolvency to report. So this here was a company who was producing really expensive lingerie. And yeah, it was a great quality product, but now they have filed for bankruptcy. So yeah, that's another company having troubles, severe troubles. Here there's another very uplifting article, not about the German economy. Recession. German's economic model is at the end and there's no plan B. The German economy is in a deep crisis, and that also has effects on other countries negatively, which have close economic relations to Germany. Alright guys, so this is it for today. I really want to thank you for watching. Unfortunately, it's not looking that good in Europe. So if you want to get another news update, make sure that you're subscribing to my channel. Stay tuned.